Gosh, help me deliver the word the way you explained it to me, Lord. This is a message for a group of people. I actually received this particular message, you're not too late in the game, a couple of days ago, but I wasn't sure what God meant by that, okay? We think about the game as, Paul putting us in the race, not putting us in the race, but Paul speaking about us being in the race, not putting us in the race, but speaking about us being in the race and stuff like that, and how we already won, but it's being in the race. It's more like focusing on the mission, like the tunnel vision, focusing on where God needs you to be. And then today I heard God say purpose, right? And then he brought me back to the message, you're not too late in the game. And then it brought me back to the analogy of Paul talking about the race, right? And how we are in the race and the baton has been passed on to us and we have to run the race. And the race is like our walk with Christ, our purpose with Christ, right? And when you are in the race, when you are in the game, or you just joined the game, which is your calling, right? You have to remember something about your purpose. Everyone's purpose is different, okay? And because everyone's purpose is different, everyone's time frame is also going to be different. The time frame that God has placed on your purpose is according to your purpose, is according to his will for your life. Therefore, the time frame for his will for your life is not going to be the same time frame as somebody else's, okay? Now, this is going to hit someone like me just saying that right now. You're going to know if this word is for you or not, because you've probably been complaining about time frame and stuff, right? Now, after I received all that analogy and stuff, today again, he brought up a reference of Sarah, right? How God promised Sarah a son, a boy. And remember, Sarah didn't end up having the baby until she was like older, right? But she was mocked for not having a child for years from people. And then he also started talking about the mockery many of you guys may have endured in this lifetime from people because you don't have something specific that people think you should have, not realizing that your walk is your walk, your purpose is your purpose, and because your purpose is unique, your purpose is going to align with God's timing for your life. Because your purpose is unique, and because your walk with God is unique, and because you are set apart, there are specific details within your purpose that are not going to be the same for everybody else. I talked about this in another video I did earlier in the week where I said, our free will is different from other people's free will, because our free will has a lot more discipline, because we go to God for everything. We get a yes, we get a no. You get what I'm saying? God may tell us to wait. We have to be obedient in our walk when we're walking with God, where everybody else, their free will, they have free will too, but it's not as disciplined. If they want to make a decision about something, they'll go and make a decision about it and deal with the consequences later. When it comes to us, God likes to give us a heads up. He likes to tell us what's good for us, what's not good for us, what we should do and shouldn't do. And then he leaves the decision up to us to make, whether we're going to be obedient or not obedient. So we still have free will, but our free will is more disciplined. Do you see what I'm saying? So because of that, because we're obedient in our walk, our purpose, our time frame is not going to be like everybody else's, okay? Now, God says you are not too late in the game. And he wants you to know that the people that have been mocking you for what it is that you don't have right now, best believe God is going to mock the mockers. Okay, God is going to mock the mockers. I'm not sure who this word is for, but I'm telling you right now, you'll know, because it's one of those things where you may have been put down or mocked for not having something. Whether you're mocked because you didn't finish school, whether you're mocked because you're not married, whether you're mocked because you don't have children, whatever it is that you are mocked for, God is going to mock the mockers. It's your time. You are not too late in the game. As a matter of fact, whenever God has placed you in the game, that was the right time for you to join the game. You see what I'm saying? That was the right time, because it was according to his will for your life, his timing for your life, not your timing, his timing for your life. I told you before, God is very detailed, very specific, okay? Very specific, okay? And I want to mention something else to you. Sometimes when you see prophecies, it's not going to play out the way that you thought it was going to play out. Sometimes, God will show you a prophecy, But you may not have known all the obstacles that were going to come up against you before you get there. You may have just known about a couple, or God may have warned you right before it happened, but he never told you years prior this was going to happen, or months prior this was going to happen. He may have just warned you right before it happened. You see what I'm saying? To let you know, right? So, you know, because everything is detailed and everything is unique, and there may have been some things that you were not expecting that may have made you feel discouraged, because you're like, God, you showed me something, but this and this and this and this and this is happening. Does that mean it's not going to happen? No, it's going to happen. It's just that what's happening, the obstacles and turmoils that are happening, the thing about it is that if God would have told you ahead of time, you probably would have chose to do your own thing. God is about timing. There's a reason why he chose to warn you about certain things now and not before, not way before. Do you see what I'm saying? There's a reason why he warns you about things right before it happens and not months or years before it happens. You see what I'm saying? Because God is about timing, okay? So I just want to let you know, do not look at everybody else's time frame. Do not look at what everybody else has, because let me tell you something, your walk is your walk. Your calling is your calling, okay? And I want to just say something. I have seen people who have graduated school mock the people who didn't finish school, and years later the people who didn't finish school are six-figure earners, okay? And the people who have finished schools are in debt. I have seen people mock people who never had children, okay? And later on in years, the person they mocked that didn't have children would have a child, and a well-behaved child, and the people that mocked that person would have problems with their child, okay? Disobedient children, okay? I have seen people who mocked people for not being married, okay, and mocked them because they were not married, and years later the person they mocked got married to a man of God or a woman of God who loves them dearly, and the very people that mocked them are going through divorces. Do you see what I'm saying? This is why it's so important to be careful on who you point fingers at, who you put down. But also, this is the reason why it's so important to never compare your time frame with everybody else's time frame, because their purpose is not your purpose. Do you get what I'm saying? Their purpose may have been according to their free will, and their purpose and their outcome may have been based on the decisions that they made on their own without discipline, compared to the decisions that you may have made on your own, but having God to back you up and to discipline you. Do you see what I'm saying? Which will have different results. Later on, okay? And this is why I say just continue to be obedient to what God tells you to do. Continue to be obedient. Don't matter how it looks on the external. Just do what it is he needs you to do. Pray, fast, do what it is he needs you to do, because I'm telling you right now, every obstacle, every turmoil, every tear, everything that you have to battle, good and bad, it's gonna ultimately lead to where God needs you to be, because guess what? It is a part of his plan for your life. There won't be no testimony without a test, okay? Anyways, I love you guys. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.